Hi guys, Skypoint here. The launch of the Genestealer Cults has brought me back to Warpforge, and in this video I wanted to share with you a really fun deck that I built this morning and has given me a surprising string of victories since then. So just as a caveat, I did decide it's finally time to support the game's devs. I bought the Genestealer launch bundle, and that's why I'm able to have a pretty productive deck going right now. So let's just quickly jump into the deck. It actually relies on basically just one legendary. The Warlord is the most critical legendary here. Everything else is just icing on the cake. I have two legendary cards in here. One of them is the Neophyte Leader, and the other is Telepathic Domination. Of the two, Neophyte Leader is more important to have, although he's not critical. And Telepathic Domination is, I've never even gotten as far as using the card, it's just my backup in case of emergency situations. So you may start already seeing something looking a little off about this deck, and that's because it has this crazy energy curve. 23 cards, in fact 27 cards, which are coming in at cost 3 or below. So what's the deal with that? Well, as you might tell from the deck's name, this deck is trying to take advantage of the Genestealer card, Rampant Infestation. Let's take a look at that. This is an epic card. Costs 6 energy, and it makes your troops cost 3 less during this turn. And so, you might start seeing the theme. I have 24, nope, I have 20, something troops. I can't remember the exact number. I've got a whole bunch of troops which all cost 3 or less. So the strategy is really simple. Build up to the 6 energy turn, trying to get 8 troops in hand, and then dump a bunch of troops onto the board and quickly try and control the situation. And the Genestealer faction, I mean, they have a whole bunch of synergies, which makes this really good. Let's run through all the cards in here very quickly, top to bottom, and then I'll get into showing you my wins. Alright, so starting off with Genestealer Familiar. Honestly, this is probably the least useful card, even though it's an epic. It's nice, it gives a little bit of a buff to neighboring units, but it's... I think I've played it only a few times. It didn't make a huge difference. It's nice to put this next to your Warlord. It gives your Warlord 3 attack, which can help in some situations. Alright, Neophyte Initiate, a 1-cost common unit, but this is surprisingly MVP in this deck. If you imagine that you're dumping out 8 units in a turn, putting Neophyte Initiate out as like the first unit will help you just do 7 points of damage just by playing more troops later in the turn. And if you get 2 of these guys, then it really accelerates quickly. It gets crazy. So this is actually a great card and really important for the combo. Backstab. So as you build your way up to the 6 energy turn, you need to try and keep the board a little bit clear of enemies. Backstab is a great little damage card, and it has the extra bonus of potentially messing up the enemy's momentum as they try and clear out sabotages instead of playing their own troops on the board. Concealed Explosives. I mean, honestly, it's there just to be another troop on the board, and when it goes into ambush mode, hopefully the enemy will be distracted and will hit the concealed explosive instead of more important troops. Neophyte Hybrid. This is alright. Adds random sabotages. Sabotages aren't too important to this deck. Honestly, I find that it just makes people uncomfortable seeing a bunch of ambush units deployed. Neophyte Specialist, pretty much similar. Again, sabotages, handy. They help to slow down the enemy, so often if I have some spare energy, I will try and play a Neophyte Specialist before my 6th energy turn, just to get the enemy player to try to clear out sabotage cards. Neophyte Trooper. This is pretty neat, actually. If during your 6 energy turn, the enemy does have some powerful units on the board, his Uprising ability lets him very quickly clear those out with flanking and getting more ranged attack with each unit that gets played. That's Neophyte Trooper. Acolyte Hybrid. This is just pretty solid. Yeah, nothing much to say here. It's not a great card. It does okay in the context of this build. Gets to trigger his ambush effect quite often. Biophagus. So this guy's actually pretty great. As he goes into play, he starts throwing down sabotage cards into the enemy, and on top of that, if he survives with his talent, he can make your troops on the board stronger before they make their own attacks. Locust, also pretty handy. Works well in the combo, helps to slow down the enemy, lets your lets your troops maybe survive another turn. I like it. Neophyte Heavy, again, this is just a very average card, except when you play a bunch of ambush units in that big 6 energy turn, he's got a pretty good chance of triggering his ambush ability, and that helps quite a lot. Neophyte Iconbearer. This guy is great because it means you can follow up that big turn where you dumped lots of units on the board. If one, or even better, 2 Neophyte Iconbearers are there, in the following turn you'll have a ton of Neophyte initiates, and just by playing them, 8 of these guys on the board, like one after each other, they just do so much cumulative damage. Neophyte Iconbearer is a really important card in this deck. Neophyte Leader, again, it's nice to have legendary, not too critical. Play him early, and then all those troops you're placing on the board do massive amounts of damage. Perfect Host, this is sort of an emergency card in case I'm not getting enough troops ready for that big turn. By playing Perfect Host in my 5 energy turn, I can generate a minimum of 1 more troop, and sometimes more. And then we get on to, obviously, Rampant Infestation, super critical, both of these in the deck, and then Telepathic Domination. So why did I say that this Warlord is the most important legendary? Well, her talent over here will help me to draw a troop or a stratagem. So at the beginning of the match, I ideally want to shuffle my hand until I get Rampant Infestation. If I don't get that, in my first couple of turns, I can use her ability to draw stratagems. I don't have too many stratagems in the deck. Where's it gone? Oops. Let's quickly go back, edit the deck. So if I go to the deck profile, yeah, I've got 7 stratagems in the deck, right? So with her ability, if I don't have Rampant Infestation, I can keep drawing stratagems until I get it, and if I do have Rampant Infestation, I can keep drawing troops to make sure I'm ready to play a big turn. The deck is vulnerable to Genestealer Sabotage cards because a Sabotage Rush deck might fill your hand with sabotages and then you are not able to get all the troops you need in play. Luckily, Sabotage Rush decks don't do too well against most other builds and aren't that common. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at some of my wins. So you can see here my battle log, like I made the deck just this morning. I have 5 or 6 wins since then. I'm going to run through a couple of my favorite ones. So let's go and get started with a battle against the Tau Aunva. Alrighty, so let's take a look here. So I don't have the 6 energy rushing card available yet. I do like the Iconbearer, and Backstab is handy to clear the board early, so I'm going, well, not clear the board, but to control the enemy board presence early. So I'm just going to replace Perfect Hosts, and unfortunately I didn't get my Rush card. Alright, so my first turn, I'm drawing a stratagem, and what do I get? Oh, it's not my Rush card, it's a Telepathic Domination. But currently I have 3 troops and getting ready for that. Alright, so he's just buffing his units over there. Bit of board presence. That drone is not the most dangerous thing. And look at that. I drew another troop. So I'm just going to attack the drone and draw another stratagem. What do I get? I got... nope, another backstab. That's fine. I still have a couple more turns for this. He puts another defensive unit down. Now that guy could be a bit more problematic. So what I'm going to do over here... Oh, nice. Another Neophyte Icon Bearer. Excellent. Let's draw a stratagem first. Perfect host. So I still don't have my rush card. But now what I can do is backstab that Tau unit, which creates poison supplies in his hand. Perfect. So now he's going to face a little bit of pressure to slow down, clear the sabotage, and that's going to work in my favor. There we go. Spent 2 energy playing that. Alright, my 5 energy turn, concealed explosives. Alright, let's draw another stratagem. And there it is. Rampant Infestation showed up just in time. So I'm just going to clear out that board again, add another sabotage, maybe slow him down just that little bit more. Perfect, he's jammed. Okay. So yeah, again, he slowed down, he cleared out the sabotage card, so he can play some tactics, more tactics. This is pretty much perfect. He's got no board presence as I start to enter the Rampant Infestation phase. So let's go. My hand is full, that doesn't matter. Trigger the Rampant Infestation. Now I'm going to try and drop the Neophyte Initiate first. So get me all my Uprising units down first. There, she shot him. Now I can drop the Neophyte Icon Bearer number 1, which triggers Uprising again. Another Neophyte Icon Bearer, there we go. A Neophyte Heavy, so he goes into ambush mode. And look at that Initiate just firing off repeatedly. Concealed Explosives, triggering everything again. And lastly, stick the Genestealer Familiar next to my Warlord, because my Warlord can now attack with Strength 3. And I just created 2 more Neophyte Initiates. Unfortunately, I've run out of space to drop all of them, but I can put 1 more on the board for now. Alright, so there we go, 6 energy. Now he's got an area damage card. That's the best possible move he could take. He's killed off a whole bunch of my units, but that was expensive. He handled that pretty well. But unfortunately for him, both of these guys are still alive, the Neophyte Icon Bearers. So as I start to attack, I'll generate way more Initiate. So look at this now. Let's go. So just drawing another troop first. Alright, the Neophyte Hybrid. Now let's go. Drop another Initiate first. Drop that Hybrid. And drop this Genestealer Familiar. Now I can attack, which generates 2 more Neophyte Initiates. So I can drop 1 of them now, which triggered the first guy to attack again. Make a couple of attacks with my remaining troops here. Yeah, look at that, more Initiates come. Generate 1 more Initiate. 2 more actually. And 1 last time. So now next turn I actually have 5 Initiates ready to go. So he rallies, he hits my guy over there. He tries to clear out the board a bit more. Vespid Stingwings, so... And then he realized it's pretty much going to be over. So he quit. Alright, so that was the first win. Let's go on, take a look at another one. Come back to my log, battle log. And we're going to face against Orks over here. So Orks can be tricky because they have that 8 energy clear the board card. So you basically have 2 turns of board presence to win. So I'm trying to replace everything I have to try and make sure I get my Rampant Infestation, and I am not rewarded. But that's okay. I've got a bunch of good troops over here. So he's going ahead, making pretty much his standard moves. I'm starting off. Oh, there we go. Rampant Infestation came up at the beginning. So what I'm going to do now is just keep drawing troops instead to make sure I have plenty of troops ready for that big turn. So 31-31, it's even. Here comes a shooter boy. He goes ahead, he attacks me. The shooter boy shoots. Comes back to my turn. Alright. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I'll have enough troops by that big turn. Let's go ahead and add a sabotage to his deck. Try and slow him down. Yeah, it's just barricade. That's the worst sabotage card. Refill my energy, and I'm going to drop the talent to try and get another troop. There we go. Alright, so I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 troops ready to go. So he's getting a bit aggressive here. He's got units with Tide. Solid board presence now. So I'm going to attack one of them. Use my ability again. Trying to get 8 troops. Make sure I have 8 troops for that 6 energy turn. Telepathic Domination unfortunately came up a little early. I'd like to see that in late game. Ooh, big Krumpa. Now that guy can do a lot of damage to me. Alright. Here we go. So, I've got to clear out a bunch of this as soon as possible. Let's go, because look at that. He's got almost twice the health I do. Alright, my hand is full. Let's go. Shoot the flying guy first. Next, I'm going to put down a Neophyte Trooper. I need to get his attack high enough to kill that Krumpa boy. It's getting there. I've dropped another Neophyte Specialist to add a sabotage to the enemy deck. And that's perfect. The Neophyte initiate shot the Orc, and my flank attack got high enough that I could then kill him. Clears out the biggest threat. That's the smart move. Now he still has twice the health I do. Look at that. He now has a flank unit up. He takes out my strongest unit on the board. So he's still in a good position as we enter the 6 energy turn. Double my health, stronger units on the board. And now everything changes. So let's go. Number 1, I want to drop my Neophyte Initiates. That's 1. That's 2. And now the first one is going to fire. Missed. Let's start dumping troops in. Neophyte Standard Bearer. So now I get 2 shots off by these Initiates. And here comes another one. There, that unit on the board is destroyed. Let's bring in the concealed explosives as well. And now I can attack with one of these guys. He's going to die, but because he attacked, the Standard Bearer created another Neophyte Initiate. So I can put him onto the board, which triggers both the others to shoot. And I can attack with my Warlord, which is going to create another Neophyte Initiate. I could have done this even better. Like if I did all my attacks first to generate the Neophyte Initiates and then played them and then played my other units. But now look at that. In one turn, the whole board turned around. So he did the smart thing. He played a bunch of Grots with Vanguard to defend himself. But one of my ambush units is the hidden explosives. So let's go. It triggers on my turn, wipes out his frontline units. And now I can draw another troop. Honestly, I could also just attack and win. I probably should have done that, but let's drop another one, and there we go. Yeah, so these neophyte initiates, that simple one cost common card, but when you start playing them in bulk, it turns crazy. And look at that, I'm just building up more of them for next turn. So if I didn't win even now this turn, even if I lost the board, I probably could have won the following turn as well. Alright, so that's the win against the Orks, and just to round this off, a little fun win against Genestealers. So back to my battle log and look at the most recent one there. Let's go. So this is that a mirror match? Yep, it's a mirror match. So these ones make me nervous because if he went with a heavy sabotage build, I'd be in trouble. Replacing all my initial cards to try and get up the uprising. Nope, nothing there, but it's a decent blend of cards still. So he pulled a card out of his deck. I'm just going to mirror that move. Oh, look at that, I've got my legendary guy. So draw a stratagem. And what do I have? Perfect. Rampant Infestation has come up on my first turn. There's a 1 in 7 chance every time you get a stratagem that it's going to be that. So it's a pretty good odds. Well, 1 in 7 at the beginning of the game, and it gets better from there. In fact, less than 1 in 7, because I pulled a bunch of stratagems in my initial draw. But now that I had that, I'm just adding troops to my deck. Also trying to rush to fill up my deck so that I don't start collecting stratagems at this point. Not stratagems, I don't start collecting sabotage cards at this point. So let's go. Honestly, I put that troop down there mostly just so that in case he tries to start building a board presence, I can control it. Unfortunately, he has sabotaged me something good. Let's get rid of that and attack him. Okay, we're entering the 5 energy turn. He adds another sabotage to me. Improvised barricade's not the worst one. I can live with that, but oh, he's filling me up with improvised barricades. That's not good. Yeah, see, I'm already can't draw any cards. So I'm going to start clearing out some of those sabotages. Can't do much else against him right now. But let's take a look. Oh god, a legendary troop, 6 cost, and with that 4 blast, he'll actually be able to kill a lot of my weak guys. Alright, well let's go and work out how we handle this. So this time I'm going to put my legendary troop down first because his uprising is going to boost everyone else. Then my neophyte initiate, who gets boosted. Now I'm trying to handle the guy with blast, so I'm going to put all my stealth troops on one single side of the board. There's the Biophagus, so he adds a sabotage to the enemy deck. Everyone's getting boosted. Add the Acolyte Hybrid now. So this way, if he does attack if he's trying to kill my stealth guys, it's going to be hard for him to take both of them out, or impossible to take both of them out with that blast effect. And if he focuses on the stealth guys, there's these really powerful people on this side who can do damage. So he does the right thing. He takes out 2 of my guys with that. He knows I've got a sabotage, so he's using his tactic to pretty good effect there. And honestly, he's not in a bad position so far. He's got board presence, but a bomb went off. Cleared out his most powerful units. That board presence suddenly evaporated. I've got tons of damage I can do here. And Okay, the replay stopped because I think at this guy, the guy quit because he knew I had enough damage coming up and the battle was over. I guess Everguild still needs to sort out some of the glitchy replays. Yeah, I can't do anything. Alright, so anyhow, that is how this deck played out in action. So let's go back and take a look at it one more time. So the Rampant Infestation deck, 27 cards which cost 3 or less. That lets me build up and play in earlier turns. Well, build up while also playing a few cards in early turns. And then the idea is turn 6, you just go ahead, you drop Rampant Infestation, and you quickly try and dominate the battle. So, as I said, I built this morning, couple of battles since then, I haven't lost, it's a ton of fun to play, so definitely recommend you guys check this out. Alright, that's all for me today, so I will see you on the battlefield. Alright, bye everyone.